Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Swami Jyotirmayananda Society, our journey to self realization. Please subscribe our channel for the mystical meanings and to enjoy daily satsang. We are currently exploring the book Yoga Essays for Self Improvement, authored by Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj and narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. We are currently on the chapter of the fine art of serving others, how to do seva, karma yoga. When you encounter a thirsty person, you must give him water instead of a spiritual discourse to quench the thirst of his soul. First, give him water. If a man needs physical assistance, you must be helpful to him in a physical manner. If your acts of goodness are often confined to the physical needs of people, you must consider these as God given opportunities for the upliftment of your mind and soul. You must perform good deeds to others with a spirit of serving God in them. And no matter how limited your deeds may be, it is the spirit behind them that renders them good. So do little acts with love rather than trying to do big things. Just small things make a big difference. There is a great difference between the soft cadence of April showers that infuse life and refresh the vegetable kingdom, and the incessant beating of torrential rains that cause devastation to tender crops and green trees. Truly, good acts are like the gentle showers of spring, while mighty ostentatious deeds are like torrential rains that often destroy and devastate the very vegetation which they intend to nourish and save. Such is the difference between good deeds done with a spiritual attitude of serving God in man and those done without this understanding, without this compassion and love. A truly good act is sharing oneself with others based on the mystic realization that all is oneself. So think of others like you think of yourself. When you bite your tongue accidentally, you don't knock off your teeth in anger. So be forgiving to others also when something happens, but that is only possible when you think of them as your own self. When you think of them as different, anger immediately comes up. But when you think of all as one, you will learn tolerance, acceptance, and so on. It is sustained by ego effacing love. A truly good act is sharing oneself, but when you give a flower to your friend, you're giving yourself to him through a symbolic token. So he can think of you, he can remember you. That's why we have all these greeting cards, birthday wishes, presents. When you perform a kind act, you give yourself to him through that act of kindness. You are trying to say, oh friend, all that is mine is yours, and all that is yours is mine. In fact, there's no difference between you and me. Let us unite with each other in order to abide in the non duality of the self. That is a beautiful way to share. When your mind glimpses this idealistic understanding, you will feel a sense of shyness in seeking any recognition as a doer of good deeds. You don't thank your hand every time you eat, although it's giving you the food. Why? Because it's all part of you only. Much in the same way, when you do good to others, it becomes a very spontaneous act. Rather, you feel obliged to a person who gives you the privilege of serving the self in him through your limited means. Instead of vanity, you will develop humility. Instead of making others obliged to you, you will feel spiritually obliged to them. It is they who glorified you, who gave you an opportunity to serve. Suppose you invite a friend to your home and welcome him by saying, "This home is yours. All that is mine is yours. Feel free to move about and enjoy all the conveniences of this home. This is the idealistic understanding behind divine love. However, in this practical world, expressions of love in the form of giving and receiving become limited. By naming objects that are to be given as gifts to someone, the feeling of oneness decreases, for no longer is everything given. Furthermore, a person who receives the gift is supposed to be obliged to the giver. Therefore, the joyous sense of harmony is soon dissipated by the illusory concepts of giving and receiving. An aspirant must not let the vision of harmony and oneness be dissipated through the illusions of give and take sustained by the practical realities of life. He must give with utter humility and receive with the spirit of uplifting love proceeding from the divine self. So, love and gratitude are the keys. His giving is an expression of his divine love, and his receiving is an acceptance of a divine blessing. Thus, whoever receives any gift from him, either in the form of an object or a kind act, will be truly delighted. And even when he does not give any material gift, his very presence in this state is an abundant gift to humanity. Such sages and saints are a blessing like spring season. Wherever they go, they take the joy of bring the joy of fragrance, love, and freshness in the air. Human love is measured by the illusions of give and take, but divine love does not do that. It is ever full, full to the brim. It is not affected by giving or receiving. It gives beauty and vitality to the blooming flowers, and it receives fragrance from them. Such is the vision of universal love, which gives and receives like the rising and falling of waves in the fullness of the ocean. Acts of goodness must be like an aroma emanating from a blooming flower. One should not be aware, even at an egoistic level, of one's acts of goodness. This secret art of doing the utmost good to one and all is illustrated in an interesting story about a sage who, by the force of his austerities, deserved a heavenly boon. The angels insisted on giving him miraculous powers, but he pleaded that the boon should be rather given to his shadow. And so the shadow of the sage worked wonders in the world, while he himself remained oblivious to all the good that proceeded from him. He did not want his ego to be swelled up or pride to come in him, thinking he is doing so much good to people. So he let his shadow handle that. Such is the magnanimity of great sages and saints. They make profound difference in people's lives, and yet they, like the spring shower, they continue to move on, do other things. Give abundantly, give with love and humility. Be a dynamic servant of humanity. Share your very being with all. Do not be miserly. Do not keep your knowledge, your wisdom, or your talents locked up in the confines of your own little self. Fling open the doors of your mind, just as imprisoned air blends with the joyous breeze, so too blend with the breeze of cosmic love. Realize I am all that is, and be free. May God bless you. I hope you're enjoying these profound topics that our worshipful master has written with so much insight and love, as they have come from an enlightened viewpoint. May we all be blessed, and may we implement these little changes day by day in our daily life, and may we also realize the self in this very life. Hari Om Tat Sat. In tomorrow's satsang, we will be picking the topic simple living and high thinking. What a beautiful concept. Hari Om.